on Twitter, I put the word out that I wanted you guys to submit some questions that you might have about the new album or the making of the new album. And I got a lot in, and I typed them. You can't see, but I'm looking at my laptop, and they're here. So I'm going to read them, and I'm going to try to answer them. So the first one is from someone called Cookie Cats. And she asks, will my new single be a love song, example, Truly, Madly, Deeply, or Insatiable? Well, no. And not because I don't love those songs, by the way. I've always had the philosophy that once you've done something and you've done it as well as you can do it, why would you repeat yourself? So, no, I'm not repeating myself, but I will say that it's definitely a softer, there's a softer, more courageous side, I think, to the love songs on the record. I think I have a history of being famous for writing mushy love songs, but if you actually look at my records and the subject matter, often it's about love that doesn't quite work out, which is, I think, is always more interesting. And I think that a lot of the new record is more that side of love, but there are definitely some positive and beautiful moments. So I don't think that answered your question, but that's my response. Alexa Jane asks, before I started writing the album, did I remember saying that I already had a name for it? Am I sticking with that name? Yes and no. I registered way too many website domains, as I always do when I make a record, and I registered 3, and it's one of the 3 titles has ended up being the title of the record, and all 3 titles absolutely are related to the same theme. So when the record's finished and the album's out there, I'll tell you what the other 2 possible titles would have been. But the great thing about this record is, as I said in the other part of the blog that you may have not watched yet, since The Tension and the Spark, every time I've made an album, it's been thematic in a sense, that all the songs are sort of variations or explorations of one idea, one big idea. So yeah, this record has one big idea. Hello Aaron asks, he loves the upbeat super power pop songs I do, and am I going to be having any more of those upbeat stompers on my new album? I love dance music. I've always loved electronic music, so yeah, there's elements of that in the songs, but it's so hard to explain until you've heard the record. It's not like anything that I've done before, so there isn't a step into the light on there, or a listen all you people, or and I want you, or anything like that, because it's a totally new record. But yeah, there's electronic elements, and I'm always influenced by remixes, and particularly on this record, Swedish music. So people like Claret or Robin or The Knife, people that make sort of tempo-driven songs but with emotion. So yeah, that's definitely a part of the record, one part of it. Okay, Muddy June says, in the new album, did I find that I had any angst about life left to express? Well, of course, because I am alive and I'm human, and I don't think angst or a sense of melancholy will ever leave me. You know, I think part of the fear I had when I eventually settled down and got married and was happy was that I wouldn't be able to write songs the way that I write songs, and that hasn't been the case at all, because you know, my life is so much more than just one aspect of it, you know, and one aspect of my job is that I adore my partner and I love my marriage, but it is a marriage like any marriage in the world. You know, it's 2 human beings wanting to stick together, and you think of all the things that spin off from that, and all of those relationships and how they affect each other, and how the ego affects you in your life, and how your point of view and your experiences and how you were raised and how you interact with other human beings. It's a very complicated puzzle, and that's a lot that I talk about on the new record, really. Ken MC1 asks, are there any duets, and when is the photo shoot for the inlay, and can I be in it? No duets. I'm doing one photo shoot in March for elements for the website, and I guess for the album photo shoot it will be later on in the year. No, you can't be in the photo shoot. There you go. Unless you're making coffee on the day. Sali 1985 says, this is my last one for now. I guess she asked a lot of questions. Or he. Are there going to be themes or concepts on the album? If so, can you tell us about them? I kind of answered that earlier on, so yes. But ultimately, I think the themes in the record help to really underscore very human relationships and very contemporary topics, if that makes sense.